Story time. You're going to love today's conversation, folks. If you have fair credit and you want a big, massive personal loan up to $50,000, I want you to listen in because we are going to compare and contrast Navy Fed, LendingClub, LendingPoint, Peerform, and Avant. These lenders are great. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Story Q Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you're to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about big loans for fair credit up to $50,000. That's the maximum limit. And we want to compare lenders that will take care of you if you have fair credit. We have NFCU, LendingClub, LendingPoint, Peerform, and Avant. Let's first start with Navy Fed, okay? With Navy Fed, you're talking about a credit union, so you got to be a member, okay? And they offer personal loans that go from $250,000 to $50,000. Customer service, fantastic. Approval process, fantastic. The only thing, and they will take care of you if you have a FICO score that goes all the way to 580. That's the minimum, 580, okay? And we love the fact that you don't have to have military affiliation to qualify for membership. So give them a call. Nearly every American can qualify for membership here. Give them a call and they'll let you know how you can qualify for membership, okay? And what are the pros and cons here? We love the fact that they do accept joint applications. You can have loan terms that go all the way to 6 months. That's great because if you don't want to tie yourself up for 10 years or 5 years with Navy Fed in terms of loans, it's good to apply for a loan with a tenor that is very little, okay? And they do accept low minimum amounts. So loan amount. So they will give you a loan for $250,000. But here in today's show, we are speaking about big amounts, big, massive amounts. Okay, $50,000 limits. And what are the cons here? As an applicant, you will get a hard pull. There is no soft pull possible with Navy Fed. Okay, so be sure that you are ready to apply before applying, because they're not going to give you like a pre-qualification offer. They don't do this. And you need to have membership to receive loan proceeds, and higher loan amounts could mean a higher APR. So be very careful here. And other information that you need to be aware of. So the maximum loan amounts, $50,000, minimum $250,000. The APR will go from 7.49% to 18%. Okay, there are no fees, and you need to be a member of Navy Fed to qualify, and repayment terms up to 180 months. That's 15 years, okay? And time to receive funds as soon as the same day. This is fantastic. And the only thing and I just said it before, there's no pre-qualification option. So be very clear. And so once you have decided which loan you want to apply for, the good thing is you can either get a personal loan calculator on Navy Fed's website or on another website to have an idea of your payments. You want to have an idea of your installment loan amounts, the monthly amounts you have to disperse to repay the loan. Very important. Let me talk to you about LendingClub, okay? Here is another serious contender here. So LendingClub, as you can see, it's important to understand that, and this picture, by the way, this is a very nice picture, courtesy of Money Check. We love that. LendingClub really epitomizes, in our view, an alternative lender, an online lender that is constantly innovating, okay? With LendingClub, you have personal loans that go from $1,000 to $40,000. Fantastic, $40,000. And the tenor, the maturity here is 3 or 5 years, okay? They don't do anything in between. It has to be 3 years or 5 years, okay? And you have to understand is that while some lenders only operate in a limited number of states, LendingClub accepts applications from borrowers in every part of the United States. And we have received this question before. I am in Alaska. I am in Hawaii. Can I qualify? Yes, you can qualify. Okay, don't worry. It doesn't matter whatever you are. You just make money. Just have a source of verifiable income. They'll take care of you. Okay, so with LendingClub, what are the perks? You may qualify for a loan if you have a credit score of at least 600. And the lender also allows a 15-day grace period on late monthly payments. What we love with LendingClub is they have a soft pull application, the soft pull process in place, so you don't have to risk getting a hard pull. You can check the loan, the rate. you can check the amount that you could qualify for before applying for real. Okay, this is important. And let me talk to you. So minimum credit score 600, very important. The estimated APR here 704% to 35.89%. You can see that compared to Navy Fed, we have a big jump here. While Navy Fed's maximum APR is 18%, with LendingClub, it's 35.89%. And the loan amount goes from $1,000 to $40,000. The term length, 3 or 5 years. So there's no flexibility here in terms of the length that you can choose. It's got to be 3 or 5 years. Okay, those are I would say those are deadlines that the LendingClub's team has put in place. And minimum annual income, it has to be between $10,000 to $18,000 per year. That's gross income. So if you're making at least $10,000 to $18,000 per year, you can get a loan with LendingClub. Obviously, you're not getting a loan for $40,000 if you're making that low of amount. You know, if your salary is that low, you cannot get a $40,000 loan. However, you can still qualify for a loan. And there is an origination fee of 3 to 6%. There's a late fee that is greater of 5% or $15. So those are fees you want to be, but overall, you want to get the loan. You want to be financially responsible, repay your loan, and on time all the time. Let me talk to you about LendingPoint. So I just talked to you about LendingClub. Now let's talk about LendingPoint. We love the fact that LendingPoint is great for subprime borrowers. So in this show, we are still doing a compare and contrast between 5 players when it comes to fair credit personal loans, but we are speaking about massive loans, okay? And here with the LendingPoint, they can go as low as 580 in terms of FICO score. This is just fantastic. Fantastic. The only thing is that they want you to have verifiable income. Yes. And the good thing we love about this lender is that even people who have filed for bankruptcy may be eligible as long as the bankruptcy has been discharged for 12 months or longer. Okay. And the maximum loan amount here, $36,500. Okay. So what about the pros and cons? First, you have low credit score requirements. You can check your rate before you apply with a soft credit inquiry. This is really good, especially because if you're trying to avoid the hard pull loans, this is a soft pull loan. There's no prepayment penalty, and the APR is kind of high. That's on the flip side, you have a maximum APR of 35.99% and possible origination fee of up to 6%. Now let's talk about other important information. So minimum, maximum, $2,000 all the way to $36,500. The APR will range from 10% to 36%. And the origination fees range from 0% to 6%. They charge an origination fee based on the applicant and based on the situation, okay? So the higher the loan, the higher the application, the higher the origination fee. And minimum FICO, 580, okay? And one thing I want to say here is that you also need to be 18 years or older with a valid U.S. federal or state ID and social security number, and you need to have a verifiable personal bank account in your name. In terms of the tenor of this loan, it can be 24 to 60 months. So we have a band here, we have a range of 24 months to 60 months. And your annual income must be at least $35,000 to qualify for a personal loan with LendingPoint. Having said that, we have seen people who had $24,000 in gross income qualify for the loan. So this is something that it has to be on a case-by-case basis, and they want you to have a bank account because they will be looking into your bank account. They will be looking at your cash flow movements to see if you're making money, and also if you have a strong, I would say, a strong balance sheet. In other words, you have a strong savings account. Okay, so it's all about LendingPoint taking a holistic view of your financial situation. I want to talk to you about Peerform. Are you there? Are you there? Peerform is a peer-to-peer lender, okay? In other words, they have a platform where people are bidding for your loan. So you have investors who want to lend money, and you are a borrower. And we love the fact that this platform offers more competitive rates compared to other peer-to-peer lending platforms. Their origination fees are slightly lower than competitors. So rates start at 5.99%, and as an applicant, you can borrow a minimum of $4,000. This is really good, okay? Really, really good. One thing we really don't like about Peerform is the platform. It doesn't seem as intuitive as others. Okay, it's a little convoluted. They need to work on that. This is pure user experience. This is a pure user experience topic, but it's important. Okay, what are the pros and cons with Peerform? Peerform as an online lender is great because they allow you to have soft credit. You have a soft credit inquiry, not soft credit inquiry. So there is no hard pull. They will give you the opportunity to check your rate, to check the amount you could qualify for. So you have a soft pull before applying. This is really good. And there are no prepayment penalties. Think about that. This is really good. And you can qualify for a loan even with a short credit history. Again, we are speaking about minimum 580. So this is really good. 580 to 600, okay? And the drawbacks here is that applicants will be charged origination fees. They do not accept co-signers, so you have to apply yourself. And they have high minimum loan amounts. So if you think about it, Peerform wants you to borrow at least $4,000, while Navy Fed is allowing you to borrow at least $250. So you see the delta here. It's a huge delta. So this is important. Those are things you need to think about, and other important information. So the loan amounts here, we are talking about $4,000 to $25,000. Okay, this is kind of low, but this is what it is: $4,000 to $25,000. The APR goes from 5.99% to 29.99%. And in terms of fees, you have a late fee of $15 or 5% of the monthly installment, whichever is greater. $15 return check fee, 1 to 5% origination fee. Okay, and as an applicant, you need a minimum of 1 year's worth of credit history without any delinquencies. Okay, the repayment terms 36 to 60 months. 36 to 60 months, and the time to receive funds within 3 business days. So this is really what it is, and we love the fact that they are pretty flexible. The only thing you have to be aware of that is that as a borrower, you cannot refinance a Peerform loan. Very important. Let me talk to you about Avant. We love Avant, and Avant, they have a great app, they have a great platform, and we love this picture on the screen right now, source courtesy of Money Check, because Avant is really another great online lender, and they are great. Even if you have low credit, they'll work with you, and they target bad and fair credit borrowers. Okay, most of their borrowers have credit scores between 550 to 700, which covers much of the range for fair credit. And one thing we love is that Avant is constantly innovating. Okay, they do have a high APR though, so be very careful. So with Avant, you can receive your funds as soon as the next business day after approval, and repayment terms are as long as 5 years. This is really good. The APR, the lowest APR is 9.95%, so 10% all the way to 36%. This is important, and they also charge an admin fee and late fees. Okay, so Avant, minimum FICO score 550 or 580, and a minimum Vantage score 550. The APR goes from 9.95% to 35.99%, and the loan amounts here we have $2,000 to $35,000. So this is a huge delta. This is an interesting delta, and we love that. And $2,000 to $35,000, and the term lengths 2 to 5 years. Okay, 2 to 5 years. This is still decent. We really love the fact that you are able to choose 2.5 years, 3 years. This is good. And in terms of annual income, they have not specified it on their website, but based on our research, if you make at least $18,000 gross income per year, you could qualify for an Avant loan. So $18,000 gross, that's about $1,500 gross income per month. Okay, and in terms of fees that you need to be aware of, they have an administration fee up to 4.75%, a late fee $25. If you have a dishonored payment, they will charge you a fee of $15. Okay, but overall, this is a great platform. We love the fact that Avant is constantly innovating here. They just need to work on their APR to bring it down a little bit, but otherwise, this is a great platform. So if you have a fair credit, if you have poor credit, here is a platform you might want to consider. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. We are still comparing and contrasting 5 players when it comes to big, massive loans for fair credit. And one thing I want to say here is I want to ask you a question. This is important. It's important. Do you know what your current credit score is? You got to have an idea. So when we speak about fair credit, we're speaking about people who have a credit score that ranges from 580 to 669. Okay, the tiers are very simple. 8 to 850, that's excellent credit, stellar credit, very good credit, 740 to 799, good credit, 670 to 739, fair credit, 580 to 669, and poor credit, under 580. So big decision time. Let me ask you a question. Big decision time. I want you to talk to me right now. Right now, do you know your credit score? Because you've been listening to a show about fair credit, but do you have an idea? When was the last time you checked your credit score? Talk to me now. Talk to me now. When was the last time? People just walk around and they don't think about their credit score as important as their bank account. You better believe it is. Okay, so if you haven't done so lately, I want you to right now, after this show is over, to go and start checking your credit score. You have a website called annualcreditreport.com that allows you to actually check your credit score and report and to see whether there are some errors in the report. And while you're doing that, also try to improve your credit score. Obviously, those loans are great. The APRs are interesting, but you still need to work on your credit score, okay? And you want to make on-time payments. You want to pay attention to your credit utilization ratio. Check your 3 credit reports, okay? Don't just, I know some people have favorites. You know, I love my TransUnion credit report. I love my Experian one. I love my Equifax one. No. You want to check all 3 credit reports. TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, because there might be inconsistencies among credit reports. There might be some inaccuracies, and you want to fix them all when you find them. Very important, okay? And one thing you need to understand is that to qualify for a loan with fair credit, you can use a co-signer. You can pre-qualify, especially if the lender is an online lender. They have this possibility, the soft pull. You can try to pay down debts a lot before because a lot of lenders pay attention to your DTI, your debt to income ratio, in addition to your credit score. And you can use a local bank or credit union. So if you don't qualify for an online lender, you have possibilities. Very important, okay? And before I get into the decision process, telling you which one you should take, please check out this short loan evaluation approach video. We do have a rigorous method on this show when it comes to reviewing loans. Check this out. Okay, decision. Navy Fed versus LendingClub versus LendingPoint versus Peerform versus Avant. So you're sitting there and you have fair credit and you want to have a big, massive loan, right? Which one to choose? Well, when we talk about money, we need to be very strategic, okay? It really depends. The lender you choose will depend on a constellation of factors. Okay, talk to me about your financial situation. Talk to me about the fees you are willing to pay. Talk to me about your credit score. Talk to me about your situation in terms of employment. Are you working right now? Are you working full-time, part-time? Do you have a secondary source of income? What is your liquidity status? Talk to me about those. Okay, so money is important. Your liquidity situation is important. And you also have to consider, are you willing to have credit union membership to apply for that? Because if you choose a lender such as Navy Fed or PenFed for that matter, you need to have membership. This is not like, because if you choose Avant or Peerform or LendingPoint or LendingClub, you just apply, have your credit score, and then that's it. But with Navy Fed, you need to have membership. So are you comfortable with that? Are you fine with that? If yes, then that's pretty cool. And you also need to think about your household situation, okay? We are speaking about a big loan. We're not speaking about a tiny, a small loan. We are speaking about a big loan that can go all the way to $50,000. So there are responsibilities, there are implications for the long run, right? Especially if you get a loan for 5 years. So you need to think about the loan versus your current budget. Can the loan fit into your current budget? Okay. Do you want to co-apply or do you want to apply solo? This is important because if you want to co-apply, then you also need to make sure that your partner has good credit, at least doesn't have poor credit. So overall, both of you have a fair credit or better. So this is important. Are you interested in applying online, or would you want to go to a branch? Because the thing is that all the 4 out of the 5 players that we have reviewed today, only one, this is NFCU, that maintains brick and mortar branches. The others are online lenders. LendingClub is an online platform, so is LendingPoint, Peerform, and Avant. So if you want to apply it online, this is great. But if you want to apply live, you want to talk to a live customer service rep or loan rep before applying, then NavyFed is the only option. So after analyzing those 5 players, NavyFed, LendingClub, LendingPoint, Peerform, and Avant, our pick is NavyFed. We have given NavyFed a 10 over 10, LendingClub 8.5 over 10, Avant 8 over 10, LendingPoint 7.5 over 10, and Peerform 7 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.